Hey there everyone, welcome and thanks for tuning in. So this video is sponsored by coffee each and every time. So this video is a contest entry. Well, as I said before, I don't like saying contest, but anyway, for a great man, the one and only Psyko's Platter. His 500 subs contest. As of today, it's actually 526-ish. And so I've been really busy, and I wasn't sure when I'm going to be able to do this video, and I'm sorry it's taking so long to do it, Paul. I just need to take a few minutes today before the time ran out. I would end up doing one anyway, even if it was too late. So I have a few records here I'm going to show, and some of these stories may or may not be familiar because I've shown some of these records before, but nonetheless, they are for Paul's 500 subs contest. So first question was, show your favorite, or one of the questions was, show your favorite bootleg album. Now, I don't have a favorite per se. I do have a favorite band. If you can't guess who it is, then. So anyway, I'm going to show a few different bootleg albums and the reasons why I like them. The first one is going to be CCR live at Fillmore East. Now, okay, it's on a Cosmo label. Now, this one is, or was, my very first bootleg by CCR. And it was actually part of a trade with a young family man, Mr. Fartboy, who doesn't do videos anymore. I haven't seen him on YouTube in quite a while. It's been a number of years. I went back a while ago and looked at when was the last time he posted a video, and I haven't seen him post any comments. So, Mr. Fartboy, it was a wonderful trade. I gave him several albums, and all I wanted was this one. And this was the first one I got, which I was extremely happy about. It's CCR live at Fillmore East. Not going to go down the track listing, but yeah. This is actually, it's a paper, just a picture. And like I said, on the Cosmo label. The recording isn't the best, but nonetheless, it's a bootleg, so I definitely wanted to have it. So thank you, Mr. Fartboy, if you're watching this. The next one, let's see. The next one is CCR's Creedence Clearwater Revival, revived live in San Francisco, July 4th, 1971. Now, I like this one just because I just like the picture on the front. This, I don't think it's the best recording, if I recall correctly. It's not the best recording, but it was funny because when I started getting into CCR bootleg albums, I just checking my time, and I was looking at the description, and the description was, it said, what did it say? It said drawn trolley sleeve. Like, what does that mean? Like a trolley, what is that? Well, it's because they're on a trolley, obviously, which I found pretty amusing when I found it and I saw the picture. So yeah, recording not the best, but I like the picture. And that's what a drawn trolley sleeve looks like. The next one, the recording is okay. If I remember, the recording's pretty good. It's Revival at the Fillmore West. And this is probably one of my favorite covers because this is actually like a picture. I mean, this probably took probably the most out of the bootlegs because they took some effort to kind of bring that up. They put some color into it, and this is actually a picture. It's not like printed onto it. It's actually a picture glued onto the cover, and that's Revival at the Fillmore West. Okay, and I just like the front cover. It definitely took some effort to do that. Now the next one is, I think it's probably one of the better sounding recordings. It's live in the USA in 1971, and you can't see on this video, I'm sure, but it looks, when you see it in person, it looks almost like a poster, because there's a seam down the center and then it goes right across, and you probably can't see that. Maybe you can, but that's one of the better sounding bootleg albums, and that's, I mean, my favorite out of all the ones I have. I don't know, one of these two. So yeah, and this one is on. This one's kind of neat. It says, I don't know why some of these, it says September songs, which is kind of weird. I don't know why, but whatever. Oop, just dropped it. So yeah. Another one was, the next question was, show your autograph or signed albums. Now, I haven't been to, I'm not one that goes to concerts, you know, every month or every year, but so I don't really have anything, except I did win an auction on a John Fogerty autograph, which, you know, I always, whenever you buy those things in an auction, you wonder, even it came with a letter of authenticity, but it's not my favorite, you know, because it's not like I did it in person, so I'm not going to show that one. My favorite out of very few I have is, I've shown this before, and I'm going to tell the story again, not the whole story. This is Frank Sinatra, and it says, "To Marianne, best wishes, Frank Sinatra," in red Sharpie. Now, I cannot authenticate this. I sometime in the future I'm going to. It costs just over $100 to get something like this authenticated. I found a very reputable company. I think they're in New Jersey or Connecticut. It's something I'd send in, and it's a reputable company, so I feel pretty comfortable sending it in. But I want to, like, I'd rather do it in person. Again, I feel the company I found, from their reputation I've seen, I have no problem sending it in, but I just want to wait to see if I can maybe do it a little cheaper. Because you pay $100 or $125, whether it's, you know, a true signature or not, you're still paying the fee. I'd rather do, you know, I'm waiting for maybe some sort of a convention or something where I'd rather pay somebody to look at it and write something right there in front of me. I'd hate for this to get lost in the mail. That's really the only thing I'm afraid of. But I'd rather do it in person and maybe get the fee down a little bit. If anybody out there knows anybody locally in or near Rhode Island or Massachusetts, I'd like to get it authenticated. Now, I got this one. I'm going to tell a quick story. I answered a Craigslist ad, and this gentleman was trying to liquidate everything in an apartment building, an apartment that he was renting. So the ad had said that records available, you know, basically getting rid of anything in the apartment. Somebody walked away. They just literally walked away from this apartment. He left guitars, he left amplifiers, he left a bunch of stuff. Some of the stuff he wanted to keep because some of it was pretty unique. There was like a really nice guitar he wanted to keep, and I was like, you know, hey, you want to talk about the price? And he was like, no, yeah, I really want to hold on to that for right now and have it, you know, looked at and maybe get an estimate of what it's worth. So we talked about, he had thousands of records, like just in different piles. Some of them were outside under a porch, some of them were inside the apartment. And he told me what he wanted for him, and I couldn't get the money out of my pocket fast enough. It was extremely cheap. I mean, literally pennies. I said, I want to take everything. I didn't see this until I got home, because what I had done is I had loaded everything up into my truck, and I came home. I briefly looked through the collection, and like again, we agreed on a price, and I came home and I started processing it, and I came across a few nice pieces I hadn't seen, and this was one of them. And I like almost shit my pants. I was like, oh wow, my God, like I like to get this authenticated. So literally like pennies for the collection I paid for everything, and I took everything off his hands, and he was happy to see it go. So, you know, I like to get it authenticated, and to anybody whose name is Mary Ann, this has your name written all over it. It means really nothing to me. But it's just kind of neat, because if it is real, if it turns out to be real, I'm certainly going to put it in a frame and maybe, you know, have it sealed somehow so the weather can't get to it. But that's a really, really nice find for myself, even though my name's not Mary Ann. So I have a few more minutes, because I'm just going to make this a one-parter. So another question was, talk about a record that got away, I think is what Paul had asked. And so I have a minute or two left. I'm going to make this quick. So basically, I don't have a record that got away. What happened was a few years ago, I had started my new job I have now. So I really didn't feel comfortable taking any time off. But I had looked at a Craigslist ad, and I hesitated. To this day, I regret not calling out sick. There was this Craigslist ad, and it said that this woman, maybe it was a lie, maybe her and her husband split. Maybe she was getting rid of everything while he was away on a vacation, or maybe he was away on a business trip or something. But the ad basically read, husband died, records, thousands of records, CDs, tapes, everything. I want it gone now for free. It's all yours. And I was like, oh my God. So I was trying to figure out how I could get there, and I was more than happy to travel. It was almost about an hour and a half, 2-hour trip for me. But I just, you know, I just couldn't do it. Like I said, I was fairly new in this job I was in, and if it were to happen tomorrow or today, I would definitely call out. I'd say I'm going to be sick. I would have definitely driven the 2 hours or so and picked up whatever they had, because the description, the pictures, maybe it was a fake ad, like maybe it was something, but it was just so. I look at Craigslist all the time, and I always go back to that one listing, like thousands of albums and CDs and tapes and everything for sale, or excuse me, for free. My kids want nothing to do with it. It's yours. You can have it. Maybe it was a nasty divorce. Maybe it was, whatever. To this day, I don't know what happened, but I could not make it. I just could not, my schedule, I just could not do it. I just could not take the time off. I couldn't take the day off or 2 days off to do it. So every day I think about that. I do, because it was, I could just imagine what kind of stuff was there. That's really the only regret I have. Kick myself in the ass today. But whenever, like I said, whenever I go on Craigslist, I always revert back to that ad, and I'm like, I just couldn't do it. I'm sure there was good stuff in that collection, because it sounded like there was a lot of good stuff. So, so that's really it, kids. That's it. So congrats, Paul, Psycho's Platter, on your 500 plus subs, and I wish you the best, Paul. Peace, and see you guys later.